For you guys to follow everyone behind you. To bail to your politicians, because this is the year, you guys, where we finally start making a difference in home ownership. Take back housing on our floor and take back for America.
Good morning. Good morning. Morning. Thank you so much for coming. I'm sorry for the confusion. We were thinking we were in an emergency and Helen Depot wasn't open, but it looks like you're all going to be more comfortable here anyway. It was such a great turnout. Thank you. I'm sure you all know about what's going on in Boston with our new speaker, what has happened in the last 2 weeks. I just finished 2 weeks, and I heard there's more turmoil, but I look at it as shedding the light finally on our house, your House of Representatives, because we are holding them accountable. I know we lost the speaker vote. I know now that we are unable to vote on our housekeeping resolution. We have figured out that they are just putting all of this off to make us run out of time for a grassroots agenda. We all know about that, but we are sticking to our guns. We have a really hardcore group of incumbents that are holding the speaker accountable every day. Anyone watch that? Do you know what's going on? Okay, well, it's really important that before the next election cycle, that I keep you informed, and I will do that by email to let you know how we can get more grassroots conservative elected members into our homes so that we can finally get our conservative bills through. Greg, thank you so much. And it may be, this may be a whole generational change that we're facing right now. There's just so many important issues that are just being put on hold. We don't even have committee assignments yet. And I don't know let me put it in a nutshell. We had 8 Democrat chairs last session. We all campaigned on 2 main points, which was no Dave Phelan and no Dem chairs. Dave Phelan, of course, we took care of. The no Dem chairs continue to be an issue. And then we discovered, because we could not debate on the floor, the amendments for being able to debate and amend and open it up to all House members to have their input, we were shut out, and consequently, they went ahead and voted on and approved no Dem chairs. So you're going to see that in the next election cycle. We did this for you. But what you don't know is they established 30 vice chairs, all Democratic. Here's the worst thing. They enabled those 30 vice chairs to have equal power to the chairs that our majority Republicans had the last session. It's terrifying. Here's the worst part about it. Those 30 vice chairs can do 3 things now. They can legislate, they can call for legislation, they can call for witnesses, and they can issue impact statements. All 3 of those powers were just for the chairs. And now they are enabled all 30 vice chairs, which are all Democrats, to have those equal powers. So basically, we're going to have a real battle. I am so excited about our grassroots group. We stay together, we're going to stay strong. It's so important, though, on the next election cycle that all the constituents in every district understand what just happened last week. And the Democrats, more Democrats voted for Dustin Rhodes for House than Republicans. It's all right there. Here's what I want to say. I consider it a battle that we're fighting, but I consider the greatest thing about it is that we are shedding light on what is going on in your House of Representatives. That's the most important thing that we're doing. And if we can't get all the legislature that we want through this session, that's okay. We're going to keep shedding light on how it's operating. We need to debate. We need to have it open to everyone and not gavel in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and gavel out at 3:20, which I heard no one. Because I want to stay there and work, I don't want to adjourn. So we're getting there, and there's just so much going on, but I wanted to bring you up to date on that. It's important that you start now to get the word out about what's happening down there. Okay, so with that, very exciting news on, I think I all told you over the last 2 months about the first bill I filed, which is about the forever chemicals in Johnson County, and House Bill 1674. And the exciting news, we have to go to Commissioner's Court and announce this last Monday. Commissioner Roy is here. He's going to stand up and say something too, because this is really exciting. We now have our Senate companion bill filed. All right? Senator Kevin Sparks was the senator that jumped out in front of him and went in and filed it. So now we're another step forward, another step closer. Commissioner Willie, where are you? There he is, come on up. He said he has some really good news about the 1674.
Well, good morning, and I just want to give you an update that I just posted or just took place yesterday. We met with Commissioner Sid Miller on this PFAS issue. We met with him more than once, and kind of his direction, or let me back up just a little bit. The only way that our victims from this PFAS poisoning and contamination can receive any assistance from the federal government is if governor declares a disaster and emergency in our county. And until these bills have been filed, and until, I don't know if you're familiar with the Kim Paxson lawsuit that was also filed against 3M and DuPont. It was originally filed here in Johnson County, it's been remained in the federal court now. But that is a game changer as far as getting this state progressed along. So, something that the Commissioner's Court is, I want to read it. Something the Commissioner's Court has been considering is doing a resolution to request the governor to declare this emergency. And until now, we felt like we might be on unstable ground to do that, but now we feel like we're on very stable ground with the support of the Commissioner of Agriculture and all of the above. So this agenda item posted yesterday, this is for a special call Commissioner's Court meeting on Tuesday, February 11th at 2 p.m. in our courtroom. And that there's one agenda item, consider and approve resolution 2025-02, resolution calling for the Honorable Greg Abbott, Governor of the State of Texas, to declare an emergency in Johnson County, Texas, relating to the application of biosolids containing PFAS and discussed biosolids in Johnson County. This will, and first of all, I want to say a dangerous phrase. This has never been done in the state of Texas, but we've never had scientific data to prove the issue that exists. Okay, so now with this data, the victims that we've been dealing with, they've lost. They're up to 47 head of dead cattle, I believe, right now. Started out with 150, so lost almost a third of their herd. They refuse to sell beef into the market, put that substances in the food chain. There's an indemnity program for dairy herds. There was a 4,000 head area close to Mexico. Same exact thing happened over next Florida County Air Force Base. Feds came in, condemned that property, euthanized all 4,000 head of those cattle. It's the federal government's expense. And that's what we're asking for, assistance here to assist these people with that, if deemed necessary. They'll also request further ongoing testing and further research in Johnson County to see if there's any further issues.
Yeah, one of the things that concerns me is the degradation of the value of property in this area. I can smell this stuff in my house. And I paid a lot of money for my land. And you speak about condemnation of product that's weak. But is there going to be any discussion, any relief for people who have valued land, who their life has been their land?
It's been my understanding from some taxpayer conversations I've had with constituents that that's already come up in some ARB hearings. People that have protested value due to being adjacent to properties that this been. We know that this is running rampant right now in Hill County. You and I live fairly close to the Hill County line. They are running this. They are avoiding Johnson County for obvious purposes, but they are steadily working in Hill and Boston County.
Yes, let's go to Ellis, whatever.
I don't know if any of us going to Ellis because there's a tremendous amount of it going there. Good Somerville as well.
Is there not any other counties join us?
There's been, I believe we're up to 9 counties that have done a very similar resolution to the one that we did back in May. And if they may join us in this. This is the first. We're the first county that's going to make this move.
Really?
That's a great question because there are 8 or 9 other counties that feel the same way. Yeah, and we're talking about, I don't know the name of all besides Johnson. Hill has not, but Hood, Somerville, Wise, Kaufman, Ellis, Franklin, some that I know of. I think Bosque it's in the works. Houston County contacted me this week, and will also be doing one as well.
So we appreciate you taking what you're doing.
Well, this is something that, you know, Mr. Courts don't have jurisdiction over land application of these products. But we're also charged with public health and public safety. And that's the reason we stepped out of that box and tried to pursue it. Another question?
Yeah,
I'm taking over your show here.
so just because maybe I don't understand it all yet, does what Trump did regarding PFAS chemicals affect this process at all?
Unfortunately, probably so.
Okay.
To what extent, we don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, he's backed off that EPA regulation. I've done some reading on that. And on the other hand, RFK, with the Make America Healthy approach, is kind of countering that. And this all fits right into this one.
Do you think it's maybe just that he's trying to freeze stuff until he can figure out?
I think he's taking a
there's like a
global
lot of
approach,
that,
a one-size-fits-all approach on some of those executive orders.
Yeah.
This kind of fell into that.
I wonder if he's just wanting to look at the regulations and see what
Maybe
he
with
wants to do.
assistance from our new Secretary of Agriculture.
So this is interesting. I was at her hearing last week, and I don't know, did any of you watch any of that? Okay, well, the really interesting thing is there were 3 senators that shouted out about the Texas PFAS bill
Okay.
and about how, especially Cory Booker from New Jersey and Texas, you know, so proud of Texas, and you filing the bill, and we gotta see it through, and Senator Kerwin also. So it's made national news. We've got traction. New York Times is running 2 different articles linking it to the bill. I am hoping RFK is going to take this on and talk to the governor about it. We've got to provide clean soil for our farmers and our ranchers. That is the bottom line. I learned about this from Dana Ames, that we're all consuming through that way. And but I think that RFK, of course, is going to be in our corner. I mean, just with his ideology. So it's great news. Okay, yeah, Larry will be here afterwards. If you want to talk to him any more about that, I am hoping we will get committee assignments next week, and I've got my 15 PFAS folders all made out to go get all those committee members. So I'm just ready to hit the pavement, just waiting. John?
Could I give a shout out to the woman who started this whole thing out? You said it, go ahead and say it again.
Dana Ames, she's a precinct 4, private investigator, environmental.
She went to the mat for this thing. And she still has. She still has.
The rest of the farmer called me last week for an interview, and I said, you called me names. She used the one that has been working on this for years. That's all the name. Talk to the cats. Talk to the labs. Talk to the scientists. I am just the messenger on this bill. Precinct 4 Constable Troy Fuller, who's done the legwork. Commissioner Larry Willie's gotten out of the state. Talking to all the conferences about it, it's been a great team. But boy, Dana is really going to the mat. I agree. So hopefully we'll get this through. We'll get to the governor's desk in May. My second bill I'm so excited about is the Central Appraisal Transparency Bill. And I learned all about that with Craig Huntley and Larry Trammell and the other board members, Tina, and knocking on doors, hearing the stories from especially the seniors that are just having to leave their homes. Seriously, been just out of control. Craig, of course, and Larry and Tina have done a great. Where's Craig? areas have done the research to, wait a minute, but long story short, found out over the last 40 years of our chief of police review the unfair valuations in so many areas, went to the man on this, got it done. We are the first county in Texas to actually have our board elected, and we are now, my bill now is asking for 5 of the 8 to be elected, so our citizens will be elected. They will be represented by the majority of the CAB board being elected. So that is my second bill, and it's really well received with the other reps. So, and my third bill is, of course, the big one, eliminate property taxes. I went ahead. There is, now I've got those two out of the way, I'm taking it on full time. There are so many different bills that are being filed on different paths to achieve that goal. We all are after the one goal. It's a big one. And a lot of the legislators I'm talking to are just, whoa, are you sure? But I am determined to do everything I can, file every bill I can to get this done. And if we can get it at least in the committee, we have to make amendments, we can do that. But try and get it on the floor for the first time. And maybe we can make some progress this session. So that's the other bill I'm working on. And what I would like to do now is call on Pastor Troy, are you here? For an announcement? No? Okay, well, I'll announce for him. Go ahead. This is very exciting.
I'm Pastor Troy. My name is Steve Webb, and we're here to talk about events that have Mercy Culture started several years ago to try to get the church awake and back involved with government, with education, et cetera, et cetera. The church needs to get involved. And so they started this, and their goal is to get every county in Texas involved with this, getting God's people stirred up, getting them awake to the what's going on in the involvement of the church to bring about a lot of the things that Helen's talking about. Steve Panate and Dave Schatzmine started several years ago to do this, and they got a lot of people with sound godly principles involved and voted into office. And so we're Johnson County people on board last July, August, something like that. And so this flyer, which is happening Friday, is called a Night of Action, and it's a matter to mobilize the church, wake up the city, and take a stand for liberty and justice. And so we are inviting as many as we can get there to listen to Steve Panate and find out a little bit more about this and how you can become involved. Their goal is every county in Texas. We've got about 8 counties on board now. Like I say, Johnson County came on board last July, I think, or August, something like that. So we've got some flyers here if you're interested, and we'd love to see you all there. It's being sponsored by Troy Brewer with Open Door Church, and that's how that name got put in there, which is in Burleson. So any questions on that? We do have a bunch of flyers back here that we'd love to have with you.
Okay, and last, John, Ruth, you have an important announcement about something that's coming up.
Well, elections. We are looking for candidates. There are several school districts in this county, and hopefully you know who they are. If you want to see me afterwards, I might talk to you about it. Kind of touchy. But the main problem is that people don't step forward. The people in this room, anyone in this room, could be a candidate and could win a race. Tell me, how many races have you heard of that were won or lost by 4 or 5, maybe 2 dozen votes? Lots. So if you step up and you open your big gap like I do, you're going to get elected in something. That's how it works. How you change insane bonds. People being leveled when they speak up for their children. It ain't fair. And we need people on school boards, and the school board elections are coming up quick. So you either register now or forget about it. And if you register, what do you got to lose? Nothing. Basically nothing. But if you win, you get to have control. And there's someone in the room here who knows about fighting for control. Did you say like 2 words?
Oh, well, I will say, if you do want to run for school board,
Here,
the
make
deadline is fine.
You're not.
Okay, the deadline to file to run for school board is Friday, February 14th. So if you are interested in running for school board, you can sometimes find applications on your district's website. Otherwise, you can go to the administration office, ask for an application, but file by Friday, February 14th. Or the Secretary of State website has those forms as well.
And I think all of you know this lady has made the biggest difference in the evaluating. We need one of her at every school board in our district, watching out for our kids, number one. Thank you, Kayla, so much. Okay.
Real quick, I just wanted to say, if you do decide you want to run, we would be happy to support and do what we can to help more grassroots conservatives get in the school board. So don't think you're there on your own. Everybody in this room will help as much as we can. Even if you're not in our school district, we will help. We will come to you. Just wanted to put that out there. Don't think you're all one.
My name is Chris Lecter. I'm currently the mayor of Helen. Going on behalf of what John said for the election. I'm not up for election this year, so I'm not campaigning. But I have 4 seats for my city council that's up for election this year. Yeah, I've had 1 person that dropped an application. So it is time that we need to step forward and start running for these seats.
Especially when I got our budget 10 inches higher. And just, we've got to get people on our taxing entities that can somehow begin to get spending under control. Oh,
Can I just say a couple? I just want to say, guys, for those of you who don't attend school board meetings, I run for school board in Waterley 2 years in a row. And so I've attended city council meetings. I can't run for city council because I'm outside the city limits. But I just want to encourage you guys that running for local office has the greatest impact. There's literally been policies that have been put into place that have hampered free speech, that are they're not good for, our kids and our teachers and those things. And running for school board has a direct impact on spending. Being able to be transparent with your constituents. Kayla has done an amazing job of being transparent and putting information out that no one would have ever received about what's going on in every single school board meeting. So you have a huge impact when you're running for local office, because then you can look at spending, you can look at policies, and then you can vote for or against those things and have a direct impact right in your city, in your school district. And all of those things affect, taxes, taxes, big time. So, bonds, Bonds affect us greatly, whether it's city, county, and school board. So those are the things that you have access to when you're a member of these taxing entities. So I really encourage you guys, talk to your friends. If you think you know someone who would be good for that kind of a role, yeah, thank God we need people who are going to step up and be fiscally responsible and transparent and do the right thing for our cities. We can't sit back and just hope someone else does it, guys. So thank you.
Okay. All right, so I'm ready to open it up for questions. I can answer them. Please raise your hand.
I'm originally from Maryland. I moved here 5 years ago, and in 2000, our legislature passed a bill that seniors who earn $60,000 or less would pay their property taxes based on a computation scale rather than the value of their property, and that's what kept most of those people in their homes. And then it was deemed prejudiced, ageist, so they made it across the board. Anybody who made less than $60,000. And in Baltimore County, the tax rate is 1.2 something. In Baltimore City, it's 2.38. So if you lived in Baltimore City, you were dead up in the water. But if you made under 60,000, so I had a client who was buying a $135,000 house, and $4,600 when you get her own taxes on it, but because of his income, he only had to pay $1,400. So that's a bit of a stopgap.
I said, I heard that. Yes, Bessie. I just want to encourage you to support retired teachers with COLA, for those who did not get one last time, to fill in some background. The retired teachers do not get regular COLAs. In fact, last term when they gave one, it had been 20 years for some folks. So we do not get, and a lot of teachers, retired teachers, do not get Social Security because most school districts do not pay Social Security. So we just want to, we appreciate the legislature helping us out last time. And again, particularly for those who did not get one this last time, COLA would be very appreciated. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Over here.
Thank you, Representative Kerwin. I'm so glad you mentioned the topic of committee chairman in the House because I think what we have now is worse than anything we've ever had before. Not only does it empower the Democrats to have a leadership role on every single committee instead of just a few like in the past, but also, in my opinion, and I'd like your response on this, does it not also empower the Rhino Republican representatives who are committee chairmen? For example, if you're a Rhino Republican and you've got something coming up for a vote on your committee, but you don't want to be seen as responsible for killing it, something conservative, could that committee chairman not just find an excuse not to be at the meeting and let the Democrat control the meeting and kill the bill for it?
He's exactly right. It is frightening how much control they will have in this next session. Since 2003, when we won all three houses, I think, at least 1999, 2003, when we had all three Republicans, majority. We've gone back to that point, I think, as far as Democrats having the power. And the saddest thing is that our constituents out there are not aware of that. A year ago, I wouldn't have a clue what just went on last week. So it's up to you all to get the word out any way you can. We've got how many months till election cycle? So we've got a lot of time for the county chairs and precinct chairs to get the word out and educate on what goes on in your house. Next. I just want to set and remind all of us that every time we do a carve out for some political and property taxes, the rest of us pick it up. And my mother was 65, so that sounds good for me, but that carve outs for the veterans, disabled, law enforcement situations, it's time to get rid of property tax, not spend our time getting somebody else a carve out, and then that burden falling back on the rest of the people. And I'm not, well, I am opposed to what you're saying, that we just need to get rid of property taxes completely. That is the purpose. I used to very love her. She was my very first. I told the story. My very, very first kind of Q&A. It wasn't even official, but my Goldman called me and come over from Cleburne and learn a little bit about Johnson County. And yes, right. And I already picked the 3 points on my platform, which were, of course, the border, election security, and school choice. And I got a question from the back row from pretty kindly. Where are property taxes? Which I hadn't even thought about taking on. That probably was so early in the campaign. And Kerwin was the very first one. I said, I'll get back to you on that. I have a lot of learning to do. But Kerwin was the first one to get up and walk out. And I followed her out. And I said, can I ask you what did I say? She said, I don't want 1 more cent of my tax dollars going to public education until they start teaching. This is so you. Right here. You open that forward.
Yeah.
First, Representative Kerwin, thank you for doing this. This is not normal for our representatives to be as accessible. So thank you for that. Secondly, during your campaign, limiting property taxes was elevated much higher based on your involvement in communities and your communication with your constituency. The bottom line is in Texas, our legislative session is very condensed, about 5 months, and something as large and as massive as elimination of property taxes, that is a big bill for a large number of representatives and senators to overcome. What can we do as your constituency to help you elevate this with the thousands of bills out there, to elevate this as a priority? What can we do to put pressure on Austin, put pressure to help you carry this over the finish line?
It's a great question. Of course, number one answer to that is to let your voices be heard. There's 150 of us in the House. If you can take on emailing them, calling them, not just once, maybe once a month, in your calendars, keep the pressure on. They're the ones that are ultimately going to vote on the bill or the merging of bills to get this done. The Senate is a big, big problem for us. They're not a problem. There's only 31 of them. So the Senate is another one. If you can please let your voices be heard to them also. And even, and Deb is so good at this with the Johnson County Republican Party. Maybe get with your party, go to the club meetings, repeat what I'm saying. Maybe develop a format, pass it out, maybe write the letter for them, write the email for them, that they can go ahead and post and send. But we've got to get our voices out there and try and get the CPT done. Not in this session, but at least open the door. Get it on the floor for me. That's never happened.
My name is Mike Cleburne. I'm a 43-year veteran banker. I am all for getting rid of property taxes. It has killed our industry by 70%. We've seen a 7% drop in people buying homes because they can't afford it. What about homeowners insurance? What are we doing about that? has gone up almost 30 to 40% in the last many years. That's hurt homeowners as well. I mean, whose insurance has gone up 30 to 40%? I mean, that's not sustainable, especially if you're retired.
Right.
So is there any kind of legislation being put in place that we can handle?
I will definitely look into that. I have not even gone down that road yet, I haven't heard about it. I'm glad you brought that up. And I will certainly, if you would be required, or can make sure, and I will keep you in the loop on that. And my staff now, so I'm getting a lot more time. I should mention my staff on Monday, so that's just a really, really great area to be brought up. Thank you.
I'm Troy Daniels, I'm not. We've made a lot of.
Yeah, don't hold the mic up.
Well, my wife always tells me to talk about.
My wife's still here. She's retired this year. I'm retired. The great idea. Issues are coming up. These are the symptoms of a far larger problem, and that is throughout our country, every governmental entity has grown to be monster.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to starve the monster to get rid of it, which means we cut off the money that flows to these entities. And yes, that's the government. Yes, do they have less services? But I'd rather do it for myself and the private industry to do it much better. And we have more control. I can fire somebody in private industry if I don't want to do business with them. If I don't want to do business with my government, they're still going to take my money. I still get the service. And we have got these large entities that are totally out of control. And we've got to focus on this. California did fix insurance rates. They said, you can't raise them. Everybody left. California didn't have insurance.
Right.
That's an economic issue. We've got to build better houses. We build cheap houses so people can get in them. And you know, if enough people are not. If we say they're energy efficient, they are falling down.
Yeah.
There's other countries that have very different building techniques other than put a stick of wood up and throw some sheetrock. And we've got to address the underlying foundation. We have too much money everywhere.
Right.
Good morning, everyone. James Stewart, and I'm a proud teacher. Okay. Now, these individuals that talk about running for school board, that's very, very, very important. Make sure that we get into a school board election. For the second time in my lifetime, this last week, I got hit by a fifth grader for the second time. First time I got hit was back in November. Okay, not a problem. The second time, I was totally not expecting because of the policies of the district. Getting at the school board level, as a school board member, you can, like I say, provide some sort of framework how things are going to be running in your district. I've been written up for and almost terminated by Dallas ISD one time for teaching kids how to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I got written up because by accident I had my Bible on my desk there at Dallas ISD. Now I got my Bible on my desk with me right now. And when I was questioned about it, I said, "Oh, it's my mouse pad." That's not like they're going to use it for it as a house. And if your kid comes up and asks me, well, what is that? I'll look, it's my mouse map or my Bible. And when they open up the book and they start reading it, I'm like, so what are you reading? And they start learning. That gives me the key in order to start ministering to those fifth graders that you ask. So it is very important to run for these positions at the local school board. It's very important. And with that being said,
Thank you, Evelyn, James's wife, who brought me some banana bread. I love these town halls. Okay, Peter Svensson is going to make an announcement. We have a couple of very exciting guests we need to listen to.
First of all, I want to understand all the insurance companies look at the CAD office, what they're raising your home. That's where they get their value to charge you. So that already puts them higher than they should. And I'm very proud today. Many of you have watched Real Estate Mindset, the wonderful videos that are put out. We have with us today Travis Spencer and Mitch Mexler, the gentlemen that have brought you all that you need to know about real estate over taxation. Now, Travis has put on his website, if you didn't know it, there are 7 lessons on how to buy a property and 7 lessons on how to deal with your tax problems. So, at this time, you want to say anything, Travis? Sure. Okay, let's let Travis say something.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I just said the microphone. I just wanted to say, from the bottom of my heart, really appreciate Helen letting me come here. I really appreciate what she's doing. You know, spearheading property taxes is very, very important for the entire country, so you have to start somewhere. I'm hoping that it starts in this room. We just did a much better job at explaining to you guys how property tax is really fraud and what's going on exactly under the hood. And I wasn't prepared for super nervous. She can tell that I'm nervous. But here's the thing, you guys.
You're among friends.
I am blown away by the people in this room. I have a lot more confidence now in what we're doing. I have a lot more motivation because I'm seeing people that don't have apathy stopping them. And so I'm really proud of you guys. Really want you guys to understand that this is something that needs to be done. It needs to be done now. We have a real possibility at making a change and making a difference, and that's why I'm here. So 4 hours from Houston to come here just to show you guys my support, to show my viewers how you guys can make a difference and follow your lead. But the fact of the matter is not only do we need you, we need people like Helen spearheading this and basically showing us that her constituents matter. And she's doing that, and so I'm proud of us. We've heard this room, I hope to be more. Part of this room, and then one thing that he was saying, I have made classes for you guys for free, not just to buy a property, just betting on assets, things like that, but also how to fight your assessed value. So I have 3 forms. I made 40 chapters. I'm doing this. It's really important that you guys fight your process. You process the value because it helps your entire community. You have to cut the head off of the snake. Okay? And that's why I made this class for you guys. All you have to do 2 things to effectively process the value of the house. Use the comparable sales, which Realtor here, she can help you with comparables. What I'm going to show you guys is you have one thing I'm suggesting is you bring the camera to your 8-hour board. Okay? You guys have heard of pen? Alright. So what I'm saying is the pen is minor in the sport, but sometimes the camera's minor in the pen. So you go to your 8-hour board, you pull the camera up, and if they're going to fraud you, they're going to bully you. Make sure to get that recorded, and you give that to Mitch, Peter, Helen, and I, and make sure that the public sees how you're going to treat it. You're going to go right, fair taxation and value, and you're going to rob right now. My house is overassessed by $50,000 to $60,000. My tax rate is 3.5%. That means if my value goes up in my house 3%, who just took it? The municipalities took it. I pay 3 forms of taxes for my education. I pay federal income tax, that's the state of Texas. I pay my property taxes, and I pay for private school, and over 25% of my gross income goes to education that I'm not even using for my free children. I need help with you guys. For your help, I cannot do this without you. We cannot do it without Helen. So please, you guys, listen to what this man has to say. Take us up on the offer to empower yourself, and let's do it together. Please, for the love of God, thank you for letting me.
Come on up. Sounds like a TV show. Come on down.
Yeah, we can hear it. A lot of your problems have a nexus. The nexus is your central. The nexus is school districts. The school districts own the central appraisal districts. The school district is a taxing entity. The taxing entity is allowed to be created through the state of Texas, through its government. Premise, through the videos that we've done, we've had over 5 million views in the last 90 days. We are now national across the United States. We are getting picked up in Canada. These problems exist. There's something called USPAC, Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice. It is being completely ignored, but it is the law. It's the law here in Canada. They must adhere to it. It is not discretionary. When your central appraisal district chief appraisers say, well, we're just doing what we were taught, they are in fact violating the oath of office. The oath of office is to protect the Constitution of the state of Texas, the Constitution of the United States of America. So, in Hill County, I heard somebody, that gentleman over there, talking about land in Hill County. You know the land in Hill County, farmland, in the last 5 years has gone up 297%. You know that the industrial properties in Hill County have gone up 2,900%. You know that the average house that's owned by everybody in this room is 42% overvalued. So the reality is, and I have a document that I brought with me, if you know that Helen was going to go there, but she did. That document is 1 page. On top of that 1 page is a memo. The memo is a direct memo. You can underwrite it. On that back page are a list of laws that are creating the fraud. You go down the right-hand column of that page, you will be astonished at the fraud that is being created upon every person in this room, bar none. Because the reality is, the real estate taxes are one of the reasons why the insurance rates are so high. The insurance companies, just like Travis said, are in fact looking at the central appraisal district's tax numbers. That's how they're basing the value of the property, which we already know is 42% overvalued for a single family home. So the fraud is being committed on a mass scale. It is across the United States, it is here in Texas, and the reality is it's the school districts that are the problem. Now, you can say that why is a school district problem as compared to municipality? Well, municipalities have assets. They have infrastructure. School districts have you. You are their asset. You are their sole source of cash from which they believe in your implicit guarantee. You take that implicit guarantee, we're paying for it. At which point in time they say, well, you must keep raising the taxes in perpetuity for we are paying. How do we know that? We know that because that's exactly what happened a month ago with the Kerwin appraisal district. The tab there said we're going to freeze the taxes. The school district showed up the following week in Mounts and made demand on that tab. You cannot freeze the real estate taxes. You must raise them in perpetuity. Okay? That's fraud. So, how are the school districts committing fraud? Well, if you go and pull up your school district's balance sheet, go and look for the notes on that balance sheet. You won't find it. There's no notes for the balance sheet. There's no sources and uses of cash. There's no ability to pay off some bonds that they have created. To the point, the federal government has put every person in this room, if you want a piece of property, every household, $1.1 million in debt. Congratulations, you owe $1.1 million. But that's nothing. Why? Because your local school districts, depending on where you are in Texas, put you another $250,000 in debt.
It's 1.382 million. To be able to pay that 1.382 million down would require $9,000 per month over the next 25 years at a 7.25% interest rate. It is mathematically impossible for anybody to say, I'm going to have an income. In the next 30 days, it's going to go up $9,000 for the next 25 years. The point is that they have put the citizens in harm's way. And the reality is, the school districts themselves are paying. It's not the citizens that are paying. The problem is, if you don't stop this, the citizens will get paid. Here's the big number. 30% of the households across the state of Texas, and it's 30% plus, right now today, are in harm's way of going bankrupt, losing the roof over their head. They do not have the money to pay. It's not there. You cannot get blood out of the stone. This is exactly what these politicians in the past have done. Helen is here to make a difference. We're here to make a difference. We're getting visibility. They're handing out the memo right now. If everybody would take that memo, you sign it, it's a letter straight to Governor Abbott, and you attach on the back side of that memo that says that this is fraud. Those are all the frauds, that's not all the frauds. We have a 10-page document on the website, it's called violations.pdf. I just wanted to make it short and sweet, right to Governor Abbott that said, here, you, Governor Abbott, you're not responsible, you are put on notice. 5 days ago, Travis and I did a video about the school districts doing the exact same thing, putting all the politicians on notice. Prior to that was a really good video that I did with Travis on the amicus brief and the bill that Helen has. And there's a lot of people behind all this, making this happen, a lot of people behind the scenes. The bottom line is, as Travis said, everybody in this room has got to take the initiative, get this memo out. Not necessarily Helen, but absolutely, she knows what's going on, that was done. So across the state of Texas, our memo is, our message is, get this in the hands of your state rep. We're responsible to do this. Get this in the hands of Governor Abbott. We're responsible to do this. And through the videos, we will take this action. And that's one reason why Travis is here now, because probably will be on the radio in the next couple of days, as you will see. We're going to push, and we're going to push harder. And it needs to be done. Thank you.
Your information, repeat it, please.
So, my website is mockingbirdproperties.com /DCAD. DCAD is Data Central Appraisals. So just so we're clear, we have all the evidence against Data Central Appraisals. I filed lawsuits 6 years in a row, and I won. I stopped. I have a major lawsuit right now with the Fort Worth Court of Appeals, because the original judge decided she didn't want to hear this case, because this is a political football. However, the judge that showed up in her seat was a traveling judge. He saw exactly what was going on here. He used the words, this is a societal issue. He got it. Couldn't control it, but he got it. He got the message. So the point of the matter is that all these things that are happening are literally happening across the state of Texas. Just so happens we have the evidence against Denton County. If you want to talk about the size of the money, Denton County, by eliminating the real estate tax alone, $7.5 billion. In fact, thank you immediately. Denton County, the school district has over $95 billion in outstanding bonds. Denton County happens to be one of those counties where the average family household goals give or take about $240,000 per household in bond. So these problems exist everywhere, and it has to stop. Now, what we did in the bill that Helen's got. So, some school districts act more criminally than other school districts. Some school districts did run it out of $250,000. Other school districts are fined out $35,000 in debt. So what we did in the bill is to say, okay, fine. The school districts have 7 years to go down to zero in bond. You go down to zero in bond, and it's all controlled. The actual straight to the state comptroller, they put that money out. Then you got total clarity where that money is going. You got no fat in the system. It's gone. It's wiped out. That's the benefit. One of the benefits of eliminating and repealing the real estate tax in favor of the uniform states and sales tax.
where you have 15% uniform state sales tax. That will drop in the first 3 years down to 13% stabilized. Only difference is excessive criminality and violence created by the schools. Those schools cannot get that money paid down in 3 years. So we extended it up to 7. It's the last 7, and everybody in the room, every state comptroller is going to say, that's it, school. Had enough. File bankruptcy. That is what must happen. Now, there's another solution, which is as soon as the state comptroller says, that's it, gone too far, go ahead and file bankruptcy. That puts the state and the local people in the position to tell that school district, we will now work down your debts. We will force you to work down those debts if you don't want to take payments. Your problem, everybody's problem, superintendents of these boards, literally every time they put their signature on a document and to the state comptroller, they have violated their oath. They signed that oath. Every one of them has an oath of office. You know that they haven't even hired certified fraud examiner? They hire accountants. You know that every accountant that's been hired at every school district has a different format that they hand in to the state comptroller. That's how the fraud is occurring. State comptroller, well, I'm no fan, doesn't quite understand everything that's going on. So these are all problems that can be fixed. And everybody understands what's happening.
May just stay around so you can ask any questions after. By the way, Pete is a forensic accountant. You know what that is.
Thank you, Mitch. Talk about an Mitch, thank you. Talk about an independent government to the people. You are one of them, and I appreciate it. It's all about transparency, so thank you. An announcement today is that the Johnson County Special Utility District, the Water District, has voting going on today. Very important. 740 Farm Road 3048 in Joshua. Ray, do you want to say anything more about it? Just want to announce that that's going on.
So, for those that don't know what's going on with water, JSUD has some of the highest water rates around, and their impact fees have astronomically increased. If there's 3 positions up for election, there's only been, I think, like 20 to 30 people vote in this. They don't publicize it well, but the reality of it is substantial amounts of commercial growth is really being hindered because of very aggressive impact fees, where municipalities are having to come in to help businesses get going. And this is a big deal in Texas regarding water. So don't overlook it, if that makes sense. So just think about kind of like a lot of the commissioners could probably talk on this much better than I can.
You know, I need to introduce our elected officials. You already know Commissioner Woolley, but we also have Commissioner Daly today. And I want to ask them, where's our new PA? Tim, come back. I want him to talk to you all about his transition. I know we're all excited about him. You'll be back. Larry, go.
So, to echo what Greg said, and I know Ms. Bradley does too, we get a lot of phone calls that think that the commissioner's report is over the J7. This election is very important. This report has 0 jurisdiction over J7. That's a total separate entity.
No affiliation to Johnson County, just by name.
So that election, those board of directors are very, very important. Texas has been in a water crisis. So that is something that those of you that are members, please go vote. It's on my list to do later.
I forgot to introduce Mayor Godley right here. Mayor Licker, thank you for coming. And Mayor Tim, I'm bringing you. Mayor Dorsler, thank you. Anyone else, any elected officials that I have missed? So sorry, I'm so nervous this job. I apologize. Okay, here's our new PA, Tim Good.
It's been 1 month since the office. A lot has happened the past month. It's been exciting. I've enjoyed it. Things are happening a lot slower than I thought they were for part of government, because slow is good for our citizens in some fact. But I think also things are happening quicker than we thought. I was talking IT. One of the big things that right now was modernizing the DA's office. And so e-filing or electronic filing for cases is a big part of what we wanted to do for the officers. It's one thing I talked about on the campaign trail. Currently, all the officers are physically printing out cases in their body cams and bringing them to the DA's office. And so they take a lot of time, a lot of resources. And so the big things we're going to do is make that work, just like here in other counties. They can submit like an email, a case package that can be sent to the DA's office that we can look at or accept. And those are the things that end up by June. If we get through the process, through the contract with bid. So I'm very excited about that. So things are happening quicker than I thought, some things are slower, but it's been a great first month. It's been busy and fun, and I've really enjoyed it, so I appreciate you guys' time. The question was, am I speaking one day this week? I don't think I am anymore. Oh, yes, for the citizens, yes, I am. So, no, everyone's always here, yeah. So on Monday night, I am speaking at for Joshua's is the Citizen Police Academy, correct? So speaking of that, and so anybody who's coming out for that is at the fire station. I don't know why we're at the fire station, but that's where we're going to be. We'll talk about the Citizen Police Academy. I've spoken a few times there. If you don't know what the Citizen Police Academy is, it's a great opportunity to partner with the police department and see what they do. And so you can walk through a whole course of use of force, traffic stop, stuff like that. And so you really get to see what the officers do, and I think you appreciate it better. Another thing you can do, you don't have time to dedicate multiple weeks to the police academy, go do it right along. So right along, you contact the police department, fill an application out, pass a background check, and you're going to go right out with officers for a night or during the day where it works your schedule. When you do that, you're going to realize how much these men and women go through on a regular shift. The anticipations, you're sitting in the car and the officer's going up and makes a traffic stop, you realize how the danger level is high and how you get in the car, your heart just beats a little faster, and you go, they do this every night for us. And so I would definitely encourage you, being the Assistant Police Academy, please go right. Also, one thing I want to also encourage is go to the police department, talk to the officers and say, I know I say I support the blue, but what can I actually do? And I don't want to sign in my yard, I don't want to launch in my car. What can I do to support you? What do you need? And you're going to find out in the city you're in, there's a lot of things the officers need. Our police departments do not have the resources they deserve to do the job that they are doing for us. Anytime you're frustrated with the police, whether it's the use of force or anything else, our expectations up here, we need to make sure the training is up there. So whether it's training, equipment, whatever it is, ask them what they need. Here in Cleburne, I know they need a new police building. If you go to CNE, which is where the detectives work, there's actually plywood on the floor for holes. So go talk to them. And once you find out what they need, the next step is going to be going to city council. Show up to city council, experience to speak, and say, I've been to the police department, I've spoken to them, this is what they need, why aren't we doing that? Keep doing that, and so the police departments get what they need.
Along those lines, there anything we can do in terms of resources, understanding, implementation, policies that are initiatives that we're looking forward to you, who voted for you, are you getting those resources in the budget? And is there anything we can assist you?
So the answer to that is the Commission's Court has been very generous and easy to work with. And so at this point, no. I haven't had any issues with any things that I need. Even with the fact that the Commission's Court has set money aside before it's in office for some of the things I talked about that I wanted to do. So there's already anticipation of things I want, so I really appreciate that. Bigger Commission's Court.
Anytime you have a transition in office, we have the responsibility of ensuring that that transition will be as smooth as possible to Tim's comment. We'll recognize early on set aside dollars. And that was done. And these jobs demand performance, but performance starts with having money to facilitate all this once that transition is enacted. So it's been a month now, but going forward, we're going to make sure that our DA is successful. So that's it. We talked about eliminating property tax. I want you to think about eliminating the ability for me, this thing, to have a personal conversation with this Kerwin. There is a bill out there, Senate Bill 239, filed by next month, that does just that. It stops us from having the ability to have a conversation with our representatives. It stops us from having the ability to be a part of our county judge and commissioners association. It eliminates the sheriff from having an association for the sheriff's association. So on and on, where I'm going with this, guys, is we need the House side to combat our Senate side, which is pushing these bills out. I'll go further to tell you that our former senator here, Ryan Birdwell, don't get in my face. We do not need to see any of you or your legal representation down here for the first 60 days in Crawford County. We'll discuss it. I'm going to public record here to tell you that the personal attack on local control, which has been offered and talked about in the state system, is in jeopardy. We need to let all of the Senate side know that we, as elected officials, have a right to representation. Johnson County does not hire any lobbyists. We never have. We are part of an association where we pay dues. These dues are going to be challenged, and we can no longer use taxpayer dollars to fund our association. And if I want to have a conversation with Ms. Kerwin, I then have to go to Capitol and register myself as a lobbyist because the taxpayers pay my salary. This is Senator Mays Middleton, Paul Betancourt out of Harris County, Briscoe County. There's going to be many different partner and fellowship bills that come along with this Mays Middleton. It's Senate Bill 239. And if you read that bill, it says that we cannot have dollars, tax dollars, go into any association, which means we no longer have a voice at all. And it is that serious. We're depending on Ms. Kerwin. If they won't get rid of the special interest lobbyists down there, all of that, I'm for it. Get rid of the special interest. Right. They are drained. That is the swamp that needs to be drained. Right. That's the biggest issue. That started this needs to completely go away. We've had so many arguments down there that is defending what is being represented, and I take no, I hate to say this, I'm fighting my own party for the issues. And it is time for everyone in this room to get behind us. You will begin to hear the words taxpayer-funded lobbyists. You will hear the legislature saying the reason your property taxes are so high is because of your local elected. Let me tell you, everything that the counties and the cities do is mandated by the state. We follow that to the letter. And we are the closest to the people. We are the best form of government. And I applaud Ms. Kerwin for coming to the district court. I haven't seen that in the past representatives. Senator King, I have invited him. I would like for him to have a conversation further. I've been to his office, was there the very first week, and expressed how nice this is to be invited to your office. Let's sit down and have a conversation. And if this Middleton bill passes or anything like it, I won't even have the ability to do this without coming to have that measure of myself as a lobbyist. Quite frankly, with 8,000 plus bills, no representation down there to guide us what goes to the committees. When the hearings are going to be heard, what Senate committee, where you need to be on House floor, none of that information will get to us in a timely manner to even have a chance. So it is very important. And I think Ms. Kerwin, she's working with those legislators that are putting those bills to carve out counties. Counties have to be, we have to be an extension and an arm of the state. And we must have the right to representation and the ability Bill, I'll leave Monday, I'll be there all next week. Mr. Woolley has the following, he is the state or Northeast Regional, recently elected president. I'll close with this. As the state president, one of my duties was to handle the funds. During that last session, our legal team that we paid to that association, the checks that I wrote for 140 days of 3-4 people, plus all of those with CDC, all of the other organizations, and all of the members of the Judge and Commissioners Associations, sheriff's offices, and constable JPs, and on, came to Austin to give the information that's needed. That's check out of that fund was $138,000 for that whole session. So you tell me we don't have a right to representation with that minimum amount of money that gives us a voice there that says we're here to honor you and thank you for the bill that you're, such as the PFAS. And this commissioner's court not gotten together that information and got our sheriff's department and our environmental campaigns to proceed with what we have investigated and wanted to go further. This bill, we would not even have that conversation. That is how serious this is. On and on. The bills, there are so many topics that I can go on all day about here. We need to have representation out here in the discussion. So, Ms. Kerwin, thank you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for coming.
And I'm in full support of the Judges and Commissioners Association. They do so much good. It's amazing. So I'm in full support of that. There is corruption in the special interest lobbyists, and I think you all need to know there is a difference in the campaign on that. I'm pursuing that, but it's very, very important we protect your association. And so I'm working on that too. Who was it next? Dana? No.
Helen has been waiting. Helen has been waiting.
So there's been a lot of talk about a lot of the issues that we are facing with overtaxation is because our government has grown exponentially. What I want y'all to know, there is a school choice bill, SB2, that is for vote next Tuesday, February 4th. It expands our government, y'all. It grows the comptroller's office by $30 million. It grows vendors, special interest taxpayer lobbyists. These vendors are lobbyists, y'all. And $50 million of our taxpayer dollars are going to be going to the vendors in this bill. Also, if you do the math with the fiscal note, only 1.43% of students will actually receive this ESA. Every other penny of taxpayer dollars is going to the comptroller's office and to these vendors. Only 1.43% of students are served. And those that are served, homeschool private schools will have to use pre-approved curriculums that the government says we have to use. And we will also have to use state assessments. I homeschool my kids. I do not want my kids to take the state assessment, and the government has no right to assess my kids whatsoever. SB2 is just like HB1, it's just like SB1, it's terrible. This is not what you're hearing out there on the internet, y'all. You're hearing this is the savior of all saviors of school choice. This is less choice. It will cost us, the taxpayers, more money. You need to email your senators. Any senators, you can get their emails, you need to email them and tell them this Tuesday vote no for SB2.
On that note, a lot of Christian schools do not want these vouchers and government money. I'm talking about public and private. Government money comes with government stream.
That's right. That's right.
Do remember, in the state of Texas, you have a right as a parent to opt out of anything.
Yes, but
Just remember that. So I agree with some of the things you said. I also think that this SB2 has some good things in it. It's better than HB1. I love the protection of the religious freedoms in the schools. I think that's just awesome. But it's just got out of committee, and I probably thinking it will get out of the Senate. But there's 150 of us, and the House, We have a very independent-minded group of representatives. There will be so many amendments. I don't get to know anything like that when it hits us and it hits on the floor. But I appreciate your input on that, Kayla. Thank you. I have someone over here. Why? This is going to be a little controversial, but I'm wondering why is
Greg Adler so quiet? We haven't heard from him. We haven't seen him out there encouraging the people to keep building the wall. We haven't heard him say a single word about the giveaway of our house to the Democrats.
Right?
It wasn't a steal. It was a giveaway. It was a gift to the Democrats. Where does he stand? He's hiding.
I will be front and center at the state address in Austin on Sunday, and that is where he will be announcing any emergency items, his position on all of these things. He has gone forward with order. If you look at his website, he's got some wonderful, bold decisions he's made in partnership with Trump. I'm so enthused about that. We are all wondering why he's not said anything about what has happened in the last 2 weeks in the House with the Speaker and the rules and the package. I'm sure that's coming on Sunday. And just, we're all questioning it too. What's your third comment? Reverse that. As far as I don't know, not until the next election cycle. We have had attorneys look at Robert's Rules of Orders, the whole basis of the parliamentary procedure that it's based on, and it just looks like the rules that were in place until, and if we could ever go on our rules, which we're being prevented from doing, right now, no. So, what was your third point about him that he was not addressing? What was it? You just said the order, the speaker, the second, those two? Okay. Yes, and announce the parliamentarian. Now, Neil Brady was the parliamentarian in the 88 and two are very, very smart grassroots team. They identified that at the very bottom of our paperwork the last 2 weeks on the floor, there were his initials, and we did find out in one of our grassroots questions on the floor, are those he ratings, and did he write this? And yes, indeed he did. But he would not to commit to whether he was still parliamentarian or not. Go ahead. Carolyn, yes, this is exciting. Our trafficking, is Tim still here? Yes. Our DA and Kerwin are working on a trafficking task force, and Mary Welch is a member here too. So we need an update from you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Caroline Powell, and I'm in this task force for anti-trafficking here in Johnson County and some of our other counties. And before I go into that, I just wanted to real quick say how much I appreciate the state rep actually cares about hearing from the constituents. I'm also have a conservative running for the state, and I wanted a lot of the representatives that refuse to even talk to me or their constituents concerning the house. So, very much appreciate her. With that said, we are actively getting this task force up and running. We kind of have it fully operational by March. Keep our fingers crossed. And I have been working with different agencies, learning from other task forces around the nation, and also collaborating with one that is over the state that is also has people that go to Washington. So we're going to have a busy deck of cards to get started. Mary Starwood is going to be on the team, so if y'all don't know her yet, get to know her if they're interested in helping. We're going to need anyone and everyone who wants to help. I learned from Homeland Security a couple weeks ago when I sat with him that
trafficking, child sex trafficking and trafficking in general is a $267 billion a year business. And the people that are just escorting the girls or the kids that are being trafficked, each one of those people are making $12,500 a day. So, needless to say, this industry has actually exceeded the drug industry. And so, it's a massive problem. It's going on a lot more than anyone knows about. So, I am educating people that it's happening, educating people on what to look for and what to do about it once you see something. So anyone that wants to collaborate with me is welcome to come and see me after the video that I'm going to be screening at El Depot in about 20 minutes, or when everyone gets there after the meeting's over. So I will be heading over there immediately to go set up. I will wait for anyone. We're screening Into the Light, which is delving deeper into the topic. It's part 2 of a movie called Out Shadows that was done to expose trafficking 4 years ago. If you haven't yet seen part 1, I would recommend seeing that first. But if there are any questions, otherwise I'll pass it back.
Where do we see part 1?
Part 1, I can give you a link for. I will also be screening part 1 again as well. It is on Rumble. And you can also go to intothelightmovie.org and you can actually screen for it into that.
We're so hard on this, a whole year. I just want to get a quick show of hands. One of the issues that came up last week is there is a bill, I believe, asking for a lot of money to get Hollywood movie production to come to Texas. How many of you would consider that? All right, good. Well, that's what I thought, and it's my decision. But I've never talked about it before, and I wanted to get a consensus. Gary, you wanted to say something?
So I was there when you talked about that was awesome. Kerwin was one of your first contractors. And you won her over, and how she won you over, you did your own. And I'm just here to say, on behalf of all of us, promises made, promises kept, we're here. We get to talk to you correctly. That's what you said up the campaign you were going to do. So that you could connect, we could connect, whatever was in our hearts. Thank you so much for that.
I have to say, I'm the only one of 150 reps that has a doorstop at their door to keep it open. And the reps on my wall are not going to be but I put it there every morning.
Thank you, Helen, for hosting this town hall meeting. It's been very informative. Everyone's input been very constructive, educational. I have sort of a multifaceted comment. First, education class, very good presentation. And we was kind of forensic CPA or some other few. It's my understanding that the school law that invented this issue, which is basically a rollover again, is partly funded by pension funds. So it's more far-reaching because, if we ever had a huge economic pickup, a severe recession, already people are having homes foreclosed and can't afford their property taxes. And so it's quickly becoming the largest landlord in the United States. In Vanguard. It's not good. I think we all agree. That the pension funds, well, that's retirements. And I just point that out. This is far more serious. And when we look at school boards that are totally egregious in what they approved on a lot of issues, to build stadiums, football stadiums that were viable, like college
statement. Let's get over that, one would think.
For 6 home games a year.
For 6 home games a year. So why is he money? So when we look at how this might be intertwined, it appears to be that paid lobbyists may be part of the problem. Paid special interest lobbyists. And I know this is a tall order, Representative Kerwin, and anyone else that would choose to sponsor or co-sponsor this. It appears that's part of the problem. And, as I understand it, we live in a republic that's of the people, by the people, and for the people. Not of the lobbyists, not by the lobbyists, not for the lobbyists. It appears it's upside down pyramid. And by way of recent example, if you watch some of the hearings, the MK, his hearing, RFK. His greatest detractors were those that were very well funded a big harm. Go figure. See what I mean? Special interest lobbyists. They lobbyists. And it's like the tail is wagging. Going back to limiting big government, I picked up on your comments, sir, and your comment. That's part of the problem is, with special interest lobbyists. Now, Commissioner Bailey, Commissioner Woolley, your point is well taken. That's very reasonable. But on special interest, not so much, because that's not of the people, by the people, for the people. On the Hollywood thing, one comment. Years ago, back in the 1960s and 1970s, there was a special commission out in Hollywood that was composed of significant spiritual and religious leaders, all denominations, all over the United States. And they all had an input. In fact, they were on a screening committee. And they screened every committee, every movie, and it could not be aired until they put their stamp on it. I think we need to go back to that. So my point is, for you, President Kerwin, is that if such a bill was to be considered, and I think an amendment needs to be added to it, that is, it has to have religious supervision. That's the reason why we have all these R-rated movies, X-rated movies. That might be one reason why sexual promiscuity and sexual trafficking is so high in this country. That's what has animated Hollywood for years and years and years. No oversight, no restrictions, no governance whatsoever. Thank you very much for your time.
Third Journal, on behalf of our Central Person District.
Thank you, Helen. Appreciate it very much. My name is Larry Trammell. You elected me to be a member of the CAD board here in Johnson County. Also, Tina White's here with us. We'd like her to be a member of the CAD board. We're doing everything that we can to rein in property taxes. We want property taxes to be eliminated, period. I'm with Nick Jackson and all the folks that are trying to get that eliminated completely. Put me out of a job, please. What we're doing in the meantime, though, is the CAD board gets to hire the people that work on the ARB, the Appraisal Review Board. I'm telling you, folks, if you're not protesting your appraisals, you are missing an opportunity. I think the statistics are something like over 80 or 85% of all the protests that are filed reduce your taxes. So do it. Get in there and protest your assessment. And the other thing is, we're hired. We get to hire the people on the ARB, and we put out information on websites, and it's on, of course, the CAD board website. For anyone who would like to be a part of that. So if you feel like you want to help in this area, it's a paid job. You get $175 a day, only a 4-day work week. I mean, it's a great job. If somebody will step up and do it and know there are a couple of folks that attention to you. that are interested and we want you involved. So thank you very much.
Okay, I just found out about a really exciting new thing that Sonny's gonna announce. Hey, y'all, everybody doesn't know me, I'm on the King Hammock. I'm part of a group. I'm part of a group here called Starting Point. And what we're doing is, we developed a website with just resources for anybody in Johnson County. And coming from cradle to grave, childcare, housing, it could be medical care. If you need a ramp built on your house because now you're in a wheelchair, I mean, all kinds of things. It's going to go, we just finished the beta on the website, and it still works in progress, but it's going to go officially live this Tuesday. It's called Starting Point JCTX.org. If you put in .com or any of the other ones and you get .virus, it'll take you to it because we bought it. So we can do that. But it's called Starting Point JCTX.org. And it's going to be, any kind of resources. If you need your utilities paid, or housing, or things for veterans, things for, like I said, cradle to grave, whether you're a baby, all the way up to geriatrics and stuff. So if you're pass it along and take a look at it. If you run into anything that's not working well on the website, please let me know. Because, like I said, we are works in progress. The next part, everything that's on it right now is only Cleburne. We have over 200 resources just in Cleburne that most people don't even know about. We are now moving into King, into Rio Vista, and then after that we'll start getting some of the other areas. So, more's coming before we are going. Starting with JCTX.org. How fantastic is that? I love Johnson County. You guys just support each other, and there's so many great groups. Thank you so much. I think that we're almost at noon, I think. So 2 hours. But I can't stop it. It's just so great. It's so great to y'all to speak up freely among each other, new ideas, new programs like that. Could you use that Wheels on Wheels? Maybe spread the news. That's an amazing support system for all ages. So, who thought of that? I mean, that's just, I'm so impressed with the good behind this organization. And it's, have you verified all MC3?
No. I haven't gotten that. Apparently 3 years ago, Texas Health put out a big survey to Johnson County to find out what the needs were here, and it turned out that it was mental health, housing, and family. And so what they did, they gave that grant to the Center for Nonprofit Management. They brought the Center for Nonprofit Management brought together all as many nonprofits in Johnson County. And we all sat at the table and did a whole bunch of stuff, trying to figure out how we're going to do whatever we had to do. So last year in April here at the conference center, and we had quite a few people. We had 42 vendors that came in to share with everybody what we were doing. We continued to move forward, and we didn't want to make it half because everybody has absentee. And so we decided just to build a website and see how it picked up there. And so we have enough money to build the website and run it for a solid year. And then we just got another portion of the grant, and that will only run us for the next half year. So in the near future, we're going to need sponsors, or we're hoping to develop different layers of sponsorship, because this is something that everybody in Johnson County can use. So, all the way. Thank you.
wants to say one thing, and then we'll go here to Kerwin.
On the 13th of this month, there's going to be a lot of us go to Austin. If anybody wants to go, we just do a train to Austin, and we're going to knock on doors and try to get co-sponsors for our eliminate property tax bill and also our category transparency bill. Anybody that wants to go, we will be called. I didn't pay for all this. That's it.
In our office on U1, and it's 216. And like I say, the doors are always open. If you come and it's closed and it's not open, you be sure to say something to my staff. That door's not there.
Just a quick question, what is going on with the Texas, the contract for Texas, with Texas, happened with that? It had one of the things in there that we could talk about today. The other question I have is, are you gonna here once a month, the first Saturday of each month?
Yes, I promise you, first Saturday every month, 10 to 11, 12 or 1, however long it needs to go. We're going to start rotating next month, though, so next month we'll be at the Joshua Town Hall, March 1st at 10 o'clock, and then we'll just go around to the different cities, probably boroughs, something after that. Jenny, I haven't kept up with that. I need to get back with you on that. I'm so sorry. I'll get back with you on that for sure. And Ms. Merrill?
My name is Kim Jones. I've been working with Carolyn just for the last week in helping to organize the task force. And so we've been also working with Mary Wells, who got the Julia Wells Act passed. And not only is it now law in Texas that people getting their driver's license must receive education about sex trafficking, it is also being adopted in Virginia and Oklahoma as well, and there's a few more states that are coming. Oh, right, the Julia Wells Act, sorry. And so the three of us sat down at the kitchen table at Aaron's house, and we're going over some different things, some research that I've done. So if you're not particularly drawn to this subject, let me just do a real quick rundown of who we need to come alongside us. I have Vincenza Ogden. She and I go to church together. She's a social worker with a criminology master's degree also. So she is dealing with the fallout from trafficking in many different areas. But we need law enforcement, healthcare providers, legal and advocacy people, social services, educational institutions. We need our faith community pulled together, business leaders, survivors and survivor advocacy groups, community members and volunteers. So we need people from every aspect of life because the main thing is education and advocacy because people don't realize how prevalent this is. This is small town Texas, folks. I live in Cleburne, and I was drawn here because my son was here. But it was so nice and quiet and felt safe. But we're not. There's stuff going on right in front of us that we don't see. That Homeland Security presentation was very eye-opening. I was so excited to see our youth there until I found out they were there because of community service because they were on probation. But this is information that needs to be in our schools. And it needs to go through our schools and through our youth groups. So, like I said, maybe this isn't your thing. You could be praying for us, but you're here, you've heard this. Maybe this takes somebody in your mind that this would be perfect for. And so I've been meeting victims, and I've been meeting victims' families, and they need our help and support. Because you would be surprised, or I hope you would be surprised, at the idiocy of comments made by some people, Christian brothers and sisters, about, oh, that happened to that person because they weren't saved.
to the mother of the victim. Can you believe it? I couldn't. So Caroline, like you said, has been doing a phenomenal job. So if any of these different entities come to mind, please let Caroline know.
All right, again, thank you all so very much. And again, get a hold of me any way you can if there's anything I can do. Thank you for coming.